Oh, hello, my lovers. Well, you know what? JDP has just made himself, hasn't he? He's become the lol cow of this side of YouTube that is just give so much to other creators to use. I mean, do you remember when it all started off for him? He was actually getting loads of subs. He was getting loads of views when he was in with Video Craig, Hedgehog Man, and he was doing his Decca Divi videos. And then he decided he wanted to turn on Video Craig, Hedgehog Man. And at first, I could understand why JDP did that. Because of the videos that, it has to be said, the videos that Video Craig, Hedgehog Man did are disturbing. So I could understand it. But then it became more and more strange as it went along. Very, very strange. It became like an obsession. He was going to bring Video Craig down. He was going to do this. He was going to do that. And that's continued up to this day. It's like a bunny boiler thing. And I often wonder, is JDP a lover that's been spurned? Did he make moves towards Video Craig, Hedgehog Man? And Craig didn't pick up on them, didn't know that that's what he was doing, and he feels spurned because it is like, if you look at it, it's like a woman that's been turned down by a man and she's furious about it. That's what he acts like. Totally obsessed. But anyway, what JDP has done is he's turned on Narrative Destroyer now. Why? Because Narrative Destroyer dared to actually say something that JDP doesn't agree with. And that's it. Suddenly now, Narrative Destroyer is working for Video Craig, the obsession. You know, oh, he's in with Video Craig. And he's not one of the real ones. This is after, for months, JDP was up Narrative's ass trying to get in with him. He was one of the real ones. I like Narrative. He's one of the real ones. And suddenly turn around, woof, doesn't like him. Exactly the same thing he's done to Smoking Sheriff. Do you remember Smoking Sheriff was great? Smoking Sheriff was wonderful. Smoking Sheriff was this, that, and the other. Wonderful. A great guy, what he was doing for Scotty. And then because Smoking Sheriff said something that JDP doesn't like, suddenly, overnight, he suddenly remembers that there might be some screwing going on over this community post, and suddenly Sheriff is a pervert and all this business. It's amazing how he starts finding out after he doesn't like what someone says that they're a bad person, but beforehand when he's kissing the ring piece, trying to get views from them and clicks from them and follows from them, he never knows that. Odd, isn't it? Maybe he does know, but he couldn't give a toss whether someone, and I'm not saying that Sheriff is, because I actually like Smoking Sheriff. I don't find anything wrong in him. But you know, suddenly they're a bacon, they're this, that, and the other. That's the way JDP's narrative runs. But anyway, what he's done this video attacking Narrative Destroyer. And so I want to go through certain things he says because it's quite revealing and it gets disturbing in one point, what I've got to say. Very disturbing, but it has to be said. So let's get on. Roll VT of JDP.
What to do, what to say. And I was going with the flow. I was just saying things for a long time. I thought people wanted to hear.
I'll translate that into simple English for you. JDP has finally admitted he tells lies. Because if he wasn't telling you what he really thought, he was telling you what he thought you wanted to hear, he was lying. And he gets triggered when people call him a liar. Now you know why. Because he is a liar. Aren't you, JDP?
I don't care if people in this corner like me.
Oh, you do care. You care very much what people think of your petal because you let it get to you. That's why you do a response video to the slightest thing that's said about you that you disagree with. You care, petal. You care.
Look at the sort of people, this support video, Craig, who lives in his parents' box room, savagely did what he did to them women in house parties, but they'll sit there watching him in his parents' box room, calling another man for living in his parents' box room and calling him a danger when he's more of a danger.
Every single video Craig gets a mention. See what I mean about bunny boiler obsession? It is a bunny boiler obsession. Now also he's referring to Decca Heggie there. Thanks for referring to Decca Heggie because lest we forget, right, and this says a lot about the character of JDP, the real one, and calls other people real ones, right? Remember the time when Decca made a complete and utter arsehole of him, an idiot of him. He was absolutely drooling. JDP, this was drooling, thinking that he was going to get an interview on his channel with Decca. Do you remember? Come on, Decca, I'm going to be fair. I'm not going to make any opinion on you. You come on mine and you talk about your version of events, of what happened and all this. You talk about now. And he was drooling. And I said at the time, I did a video, and I said, you're falling for the biggest trick that Decca Heggie pulls. Decca Heggie gets lots of views, and he knows when people who have sliced him, which he did, JDP, was constantly slating Decca. Do you remember this Decca divvy he used to do where he was copying Video Craig, and now he reckons that Video Craig brainwashed him against Decca Heggie. Brainwashed him. So that means he's a feeble-minded idiot and says that Video Craig, Hedgehog Man, is much more intelligent than he is if he could brainwash him. Oh, God. That's what I mean. He's a lol cow. Well, anyway, I said what Decca Heggie will do is he's setting you up, and then last minute he'll turn around and say he's not coming on. And that's exactly what Decca did. He done it to a few people. Exactly. And then what was it? Suddenly, he wasn't impartial. It was again, oh, you must be a bacon. You did do that. You did do that. I know. That's why you won't come on my show. He was fuming. Because he'd been made an idiot. But you see how, again, like he's done with other people, like Sheriff. Suddenly, he was finding one of the real ones, and suddenly they become bacons and this, that, and the other, and cheats overnight when they say something he doesn't like. So I'm glad that he mentioned that bit, but oh yeah, and talking about Decca Heggie, lest we not forget, he suddenly became a Decca Heggie fanboy. Why? Because Decca Heggie was out of prison, was getting all the views, and he wanted to ride the wave of success, and he was going on there. And do you remember he refused point blank to address the issue of the 11-year-old girl, which we all heard the voicemails where it was saying, this was Decca coming out with it, was mentioning that 11-year-old girl, and he wouldn't address that because he wanted to get in with Decca. Anything for clicks and views, anything. He doesn't care. And I tell you how serious it gets. I'll never forget what this scumbag, utter low-life scumbag, reckons he's some hard, HMP lad. Oh, I'm one of the HMP lads. What HMP lad, hard lad, would put out a video accusing someone that's just been given a prison sentence of being a supergrass, like he did to Scott Chegg Levi? What he did, if you want to know what a scumbag, low-life piece of crap this is, Scott Chegg Levi never did anything to him. He was always friendly and courteous with him, always. And the minute Scott Chegg Levi was put inside, sentence. What did he do? Thought, oh, I might be able to make a bit of money here, a few clicks, and started saying that he was Supergrass, which could have got Scott Chegg Levi put in a terrible position in prison. Scumbag, and remember that. He'll turn to try to get clicks from anyone. And Chris Murphy, you think he wouldn't do that to you? Think again.
Not me. I'm a normal fella. I know what I am.
What he's referring to that is he's saying that the Equalizer is a nonce, basically. But are you a normal fella? I mean, we get this, you're a normal family man, you know, you're a good family man, you love your kids, you know this. Let's get this. This is where I said you warned you. It can get disturbing in this part. Remember when he kicked off because Video Craig put up a picture of him, what his teeth originally looked like before he got that horrendous cheapo turkey teeth job done where the veneers are way too big for his mouth, and that's why he's always doing this. And I can tell you now, he'll be dribbling a lot as well because they're just too big for his mouth. Well, he went ape on Video Craig, accusing him of being a nonce and everything, because he said that clip, that snipe of his head, was taken from a photo of him and his children on Facebook. And he said because Video Craig and someone that follows Video Craig had actually looked at that photograph, that meant that they were nonces. This is what he does. If he doesn't like someone, he starts throwing out stuff like that. Well, let's just examine that logically, what he's saying. What he's saying is, because someone was looking at a photograph of his children, because they actually went on his Facebook and they were looking at a photograph where he was with his children, that meant they are a speedophile. That's why they were looking. That's what he's saying. That's the logical conclusion. But it gets worse, and this is where it gets disturbing. Why has he put that picture out there if he thinks that the only people that will want to look at it are speedophiles? Think about it. There's only one logical conclusion. What were you doing, JDP? Were you pimping your own kids out or trying to? Because I don't see why anyone would put a picture of children up there and then say that anyone that looks at it is a nonce. Someone tell me that I'm wrong in thinking that. And what father sits there looking at his own children thinking, ooh, let's see, let's rate them in. Would a paedophile want to do them if I put a picture of them up? Would they find them attractive? See what I mean about him? I'll leave that one there, but just think about that. When you logically, some things he says, you think, oh, he hasn't thought it through, has he? He hasn't thought it through.
Turns up, yeah, because I've downplayed myself on here. I've made myself out to be a plonker.
And haven't you done a good job? Good God, that deserves an Oscar. What a performance, because you've had everyone fooled that you are a plonker, mate. You've certainly had everyone fooled.
I've had 2 jobs since I've been in this corner.
Now, that gets onto the subject of, do you remember when he was denying that he's on benefits? Which he clearly is on benefits. Anyone can work that out. 100% on benefits. Now, he put up a post attacking me. See, he doesn't think things through. He acts from rage and doesn't think that he might be exposing something about himself. And he was saying that basically he couldn't be a danger to any children or anything like that because he's a good, he's a good family man, all this business. And he said that he sees his children 3 times a week, or has his children 3 times a week. But he's forgotten that he's already told us that he's in a relationship with the children's mother. It's a long-term relationship. Why would he only be seeing his children or having them 3 times a week? Because he's cheating the benefit system, and so is his missus. I don't know whether they're married, but he calls her his missus, his babe, doesn't he? She is as well. He's told the benefits agency, DWP or whoever it is, that they are not together, they've split up, and she said the same. So they're trying to screw the taxpayer out of more money. That's why he goes on his holidays, and I'm convinced he's on the pip. I'm convinced he is. But you see how he's slipped up again? He's not working, or if he's working for cash in hand. But this good family man who slags everyone else off, he's letting the taxpayer, the working taxpayer, bring his kids up there. He's reckoning he's a traditional papa, he's a traditional daddy, as he would say, dad, and a family man and all this. I bet he's not even married to her. I bet he's not married to her. But there's another one he slipped up on. He's a benefits cheat, and so is his partner. And the reason I'm making much of that is because of what he's been saying about Smoking Sheriff. The Smoking Sheriff was a benefits cheat, which he was. He was prosecuting the past Smoking Sheriff. But he's a benefits cheat. It's just he hasn't been caught out yet. And how long has he been doing that for?
And you're trying to make out that, like, I'll jump around on my morals. Nah, as I said earlier in the video.
You do. You constantly. That's why people don't like you. And everyone, strange enough, has that impression of you, JDP. Where do you think they're getting that impression from? The fact that you big up. What you're doing now in this video to Narrative Destroyer, 1 minute he's wonderful. He's one of the real ones. He's a real guy you can get on. Then suddenly he's a druggie. He's a this, he's that, or the other. Overnight that happens. Did the same with Smoking Sheriff. You're a Smoking Sheriff's ass. If Paddy Conroy turns on you, and if you're not in with Smoking Sheriff, I can tell you now, Paddy Conroy will have nothing to do with you. And you're trying your best to crawl up Paddy Conroy's ass. Oh, it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing to watch. But the fact is, if Smoking Sheriff is doing the GoFundMe for Scotty, it's logical that Paddy Conroy's doing the same. But I tell you what, if Paddy Conroy turns around and says something you don't like and disses you, oh my God, suddenly Paddy Conroy will be screwing the GoFundMe. Suddenly Paddy Conroy will have been looking at child abuse images on his computer. Oh, you'll be doing all this. This is what you do. This is what you do. So you have no morals like you did with, I've mentioned it, you did with Decca Heggie. Slating him off, then cuddling up to him. The best one was when Shadowboxer made an absolute tit of you. Absolutely showed you up. Do you know what I said to Kelsey, my mob behind the scenes? I said, I'm sure Shadowboxer is setting up JDP here. No, when Shadowboxer said he'd have a fight with him, and what was he like? Oh, again, JDP was drooling like he did with Decca, drooling. Oh, I'm in here. Do you remember how he called anyone that was agreeing to have a fight with him? He called anyone that went on his panel. He called anyone that had Shadow on their channel. Sliced them off, yet straight away he was on Shadowboxer's channel and he was being set up. Remember that? That's your models for you that you don't keep to. You never do it. It's anything for clicks and money.
Like what I said about Anne the other day, like my true things and that about Anne, like proper strange creature, what it is.
You mean strange like your mate Chris Murphy, who for some strange reason, when I was being interviewed by Sean Atwood and Wildman, your mate Chris Murphy was staring at my groin. Take a listen to this.
Bits, if you get me. But you had £5 of spuds between your legs.
So there you have it. Your mate who you go on about is actually, when watching me on a video, is seeing what I've got between my legs. Just let that sink in, people. That's what he's admitted to doing there. And as for your allegation, JDP, that I wear dresses, which I never have, that's your fancy. And it's going to be your mate Chris's fancy that I wear dresses. No, I think the person who likes to wear dresses is your mate Chris Murphy. Roll VT.
Well, we just having a nice day out in Blackpool. Me and you, together, Blackpool, dragged up, yeah?
And this was the normal man who calls other people freaks, let me remind you, who filmed himself wearing, which is really creepy, a little girl's fairy outfit. You know that Chris is very short. I mean, he's a hobbit. Well, he actually squeezed himself into, no one of those little girls' outfits you get where it's like got fairy wings on it, little pink thing with a little tutu. He actually was putting one of them on, dancing around his living room with a wand. So don't you go calling anyone else odd or weird or strange or an it or a thing, because why would you be hanging out with a man that acts like that, JDP? But as he said, he wanted the two of you to go dragged up. Ducky. Does he know that you do drag up when you get the chance? Oh, nice. Do you know, I could keep on pulling out more clips from him and what he was saying, but I can't be bothered because I've said what I need to say. And lastly, to end on this Dr. Rackpull thing, and he's trying to climb up Rackpull's ass. Let's give you the history of him and Dr. Rackpull. He actually struck Rackpull's channel, got him a copyright strike ages ago. Rackpull has always been calling him. You know what Rackpull's like? Anyone that takes Dr. Rackpull seriously is not getting him. That's what he does. Do you think I'm offended at what you're saying about me? No, but I'll have to pop back at him as a laugh to get back at him. But we all expect that from Dr. Rackpull. But you're such a moron, JDP. You think that he genuinely likes you? He's not. Look, right. He's just getting this little team together and he's using you all. Just wait. He'll start ripping you a new one again. But you're doing exactly to him what you've done to other people. You're doing to Dr. Rackpull what you did to the Narrative Destroyer. Oh, a great one of the real ones. Oh, yeah, brilliant. Like you did to the Smoking Sheriff. Yeah, one of the real ones, great. Look what he did to help Scotty and all this business. I can assure you, Rackpull doesn't like you at all. He's just using you at this moment to get content. He's a comedian. That's what he does. I doubt very much he'd even meet up with you. I very, very much doubt it. But you're so hungry, aren't you? Hungry to be accepted. Hungry to be a success. But the truth about you is, if you'd just gone along the way you had and you hadn't caused this kick-off with Video Craig, your channel would be much, much bigger now and you'd be a much, much more of a success and get more money in. You destroyed it yourself. Why, JDP? Because you are one horrible, nasty, creepy person. That's why. And I'll leave it at that, my lovelies. And don't forget, tune in tonight. Me and Narrative Destroyer will be having a little chissy chat.